Hey guys, I am back for another video. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I I was gonna review Possession, but then I watched it. It was just getting more and more batshit, and I felt like I would have had nothing to say for the video. Besides, this movie's batshit, and I can only say that like it's so crazy and how over the top bad it was that it's like I couldn't even really explain it. I just felt like, you know what, I'm just gonna not review it. And another update. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow because I was gonna go see Monkey Man tomorrow, but then one of the actors opened their mouth about trans representation and like how it's a movie for like the marginalized and shit like that. That turned me off of the movie. So I'm not even gonna go see it now. I might stream it maybe down the line somewhere, but I don't think I'm gonna rush to watch it now. So to be honest, save me money and time. So I don't even think I'm gonna go see it now. So because of that, I'm gonna have to figure out what I don't know what I'm gonna do right now, but I'll figure out what to do about tomorrow's video. Maybe I'll find something to review. Something else. So, but today we're gonna be talking about Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. I finally watched it, and I gotta say, like the first one, not objectively good, but I think this one's definitely better. And I enjoyed the first one for what it was. This one is definitely way better. For one, I like that the creatures actually look like they tried to make the move. Like they didn't just make Pooh look like a dude in a fucking Pooh mask. They actually like try to make the move. Even Owl, they try to have him fly and shit. It didn't look great, but at least they try to, and the kills are crazy. Like there's one kill he like shot a dude through the head. The scene where Pooh went to the rave and killed people. Even had Tigger had a couple of scenes. And I think they smartened up and decide, you know what, let's make Christopher Robin the main character. It made way more sense to have him be the lead than who they had. So basically, and I love that they took the first Pooh movie and basically made it a movie within the movie as an autobiography of what happened at the events of the first movie. So it's a sequel. Christopher Robin is basically treated as like a pariah because he's seen as the one who did all those killings. Basically, they don't believe him about the whole killer bear thing. Piglet is killed by some hunters, the few people who believe him. But then there's the rest are Piglet, Owl, who actually has some. They actually let Pooh talk for a little bit, not too much, but there are scenes where he talks, so that was kind of cool. I thought you could tell they had fun with it. The acting is definitely much fucking better than it was in the first movie. Like the acting in this, I'm still not gonna say it's good, obviously, or even decent, but it's tolerable. Whereas that first movie, yeah, I can see why people would say it's a dog shit movie because the acting is pretty bad. And they made it about these random chicks where it was smart this time around to have Christopher Robin be the lead. It made way more sense. I really liked, they definitely had more sets. You could tell they definitely have bigger plans for this world, and they're going to do a third one at some point. I'm definitely, I don't know where to sit on this, because if I'm being I don't normally do, I usually do objective and subjective kind of the same, and I usually just have one rating. I might have two for this one, because I can't sit here and say, guys, I'm going to give this one like a 7 out of 10, because it's objectively probably not a 7 out of 10. Like, if I'm being objective, it's probably more like a 6 if I'm being nice, and that's being nice. But objectively, I'll give it like a 7. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Some fun kills. It didn't take itself too seriously. Better acting. I do like some of the set design. I like Pooh's little lair that they do show you a couple of times. And yeah, it was a decent movie. Like they did definitely more than the first. So I'm interested to see where they go with more of these movies. I obviously going into these know these aren't going to be good. These are just going to be more for just some fun kill movies. I mean, I saw a little teaser for Bambi and it looks like it's over the top. fucking Bambi roars like a fucking lion. So it's just one of those things you just know not going in. It's not good. You can't take it serious. So yeah, I would give it like about a 6.5. Okay. But that's all I can really say. I don't want to. This isn't going to be one of those reviews where I dive in because there's no lore. They do change it up a little bit. Like one of the things they reveal is that there's this doctor who's actually been doing experiments on children, and that's how actually some of these creatures from it in a way is kind of a retcon if you think about it of the Pooh story a little bit. Like, because there's a scene where you actually see Kid Pooh. It's, to be fair, it's a retcon. I get it. I think he felt like the retcon from that first one was stupid. So he's like, I can give the directors this. You could tell they heated up the million. I'm not saying they did it perfectly. Because there could be some people like, no, the guy, this still isn't a good movie. You know, that's their prerogative. But you could tell that they definitely fucking heated criticisms. Like, they got better actors slightly. They made it about Chris. Because I think that was a couple of criticisms I had. I think I kind of had. I didn't necessarily hate the leads they got. But it was, like, kind of weird that Christopher Robin, wasn't the lead of the last one. So I think they're like, okay, we're going to make him the lead this time. We're going to make the animals actually try to look like animals instead of just people in costumes. So I got to give it to the movie. So for what it is, like I said, I have 2 ratings. Objectively, it's a 6. Subjectively, it's a 7. I had fun with it. You know, it knew what it was. I definitely watched it again. I'd watch 1 and 2 kind of back to back. Yeah, that's all I could really say. So tomorrow, like I said, I'm gonna have to figure out. I'll figure out. Maybe I'll review what to review. If I don't, I'll try to find something to talk about. Find something to talk about. But yeah, I do wanna do something tomorrow. It's sorry guys. It's just when fucking I'm just so tired of just actors opening their mouths and just. It's like, why? Why'd you have to mention this shit? I actually was planning on seeing this tomorrow. Like, that was my original plan. Like, I was originally planning on going to see it tomorrow. And then they had to open their fucking mouth. So it's like, alright. You know, I'll pull my wallet. So I'll see it. You know, if I do watch it, it'll either be, on the site, on the seas, or I'll just wait till it's on a streaming service. I'm actually even leaning that. I don't think I'm even gonna rush to watch it on the streaming on the seas. I don't, unless I hear uber strong word of mouth like this is a really good movie. I might just wait for like it to go on a service or something, or a better quality appears on the seas, because they want to open their mouth. I'm just tired of this shit with Hollywood. Like, if I was Hollywood, if I was these people who make these movies, just cut the red carpet. There's no point anymore. Like, when you have actors just come out and say this stupid shit. Like, I saw a tweet a little bit ago talking about this. Like, a couple of lines just basically just destroyed this whole movie. And it did. It's not just me. I saw a lot of people get turned off by this line. There's some people like, you know what, I had a little interest in this, and then they just open their mouth. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I'm just tired of this. It's like, just zip it, you know? Get the fucking cue the fucking zip it clip from fucking Austin Powers. It's like, seriously, dude. It's... Anyway, I don't want to go on a rant about that, but it's just wanted to mention that. So, now that I'm not seeing that tomorrow, I gotta figure out something else to do tomorrow. Anyway, let's get into food. starts. Basically, see Pooh kill like a group of people, like some, like a family on the. Or we see the Pooh flip an RV, kills inhabitants in it. Which is like, okay, it's an cool open kill, and then we pick up where the movie actually leaves off. Christopher Robin managed to make it out of the massacre, but because he was seen, he was the only survivor, he was deemed the one who did the murder, so he's basically a town pariah. And there was a movie, because there's a kid who's the kid of, I guess, Christopher Robin's, like, girlfriend, who I'll admit, she was kind of a pointless character. You see her a couple of times, but I will say, definitely better actress than, honestly, a couple of the actresses from the last movie. So, at least her and Christopher seem like they have chemistry, you know? Um, and, so basically he's seen as a town pariah. Her son watches, so they, seems like Hollywood in this universe basically made the movie, which I'll admit was kind of creative. I thought it was kind of a unique way to do it, was take your own movie from the previous one. Even though it's still technically, this is the sequel, basically that movie is a Hollywood adaptation of the story. I love that. I will admit that's pretty fucking great. I thought it was creative. And yeah, there's some creative kills in this movie. Like there's a scene where he kills Pooh kills Christopher's family, minus the girl. He kidnaps her, but he kills the mom. Like because there's a scene earlier where you see her pull out the dishwasher, which I'll admit this scene is a little weird. Like she has like the knives all pointing up in the dishwasher. No one would do that. People would have it down. No one would just have them open out like that, because that's a fucking hat. I get it. It was just to establish that so you can have a kill for later, but it was still a little weird. It's like no one would do that. I don't think no actual person would just have the knives all sticking out of the fucking dishwasher like that. But anyway, it made for a good kill. I'll admit it was a pretty violent kill. Like the movie does not hold back on the violence like the first one did. And I actually did, like, once, like, you saw the other creatures, I'll admit they did not look great, effects-wise, especially the owl, like, the head looks clearly like a dude in a mask, but they at least put a little bit of effort, especially in the Pooh. They definitely, like, they even try to make it look like their mouths move, you know, and when they talk, because there's a couple scenes they do talk, which I'm happy, at least they do not talk too much, but it was nice at least switching it up and they talk a little bit. Piglet does end up getting killed by some hunters, because there's a couple of people who do believe the tale. So they set up traps and try to capture. But they, after killing Piglet, they end up getting killed by Pooh. And then this is where Tigger gets introduced, which that was cool. You know, it was cool seeing, even though he shows up towards the end. There's a group of, I guess they're friends of Christopher's girlfriend, who are just kind of introduced. There's really no side characters minus Chris's family. Like, yeah, there's really... So the next ones to be killed after the hunters are basically, yeah, these ravers get out. Party, and that's when Tigger arrives, and same with Pooh. Oh, this was after Pooh arrives, because there's... Oh, man, this scene was kind of cool. Where the kid was using... because there's two different scenes. This is one where he goes to Chris's house, and this is where his wife and a wife, girlfriend, and her kid was playing with like an RV toy that has like a camera. So he used it as like a kind of a GoPro to see what's going on. That's when you see a good shot of Pooh just looking at the camera, which okay, that was kind of cool. They managed to get Pooh out of there in time. He ends up killing the cops, and then he goes to Chris's parents' house, and that's where he kills Chris's parents. Pretty brutally. Christopher arrives, and there's a theme. Oh, there's a scene I cut out. Forgot to mention where we find out there's this doctor who's been doing experiments, which I didn't really need this element, but I get it. They wanted it was a way to kind of explain how Pooh got enhanced. That once these kids, so he did experiments on these kids and enhanced them, and one of them became Pooh. Essentially, that's how it's. So it's almost a because I guess I can see the director maybe felt like the origin story from the last one wasn't that great, so he just kind of basically changed it. So in a way, you don't really need to watch the first one to watch this one, because this one, while a sequel, there's a scene where you do see like the ending of the other one, the first one, but it does almost change his origin story, so it's almost a new movie in a way. It's not a reboot, but it's a second movie, but it's also a reboot because they do change his backstory a little bit. And that his brother Billy was taken, and the doctor ends up killing himself, which was I didn't need that whole scene, but so. And Christopher uses this radio, I guess, to like hear chatter about police and what's going on in the city, in this small town. Pooh, this is where Pooh arrives at the party. Christopher realizes the girl's been kidnapped. Bunny, I think it's the little girl. Pooh ends up going to the party and starts killing people, which was like, okay, this is a pretty cool, brutal scene. Just Pooh just killing everyone. And then the rest of them run away, and this is where they run into Tigger. So pretty much this is his introduction. Meant the costume doesn't look that great, but it was still funny. It's a funny scene. They gave him dialogue, which was cool. I at least like the change up of giving them dialogue, so you could tell that whoever made this movie heeded criticisms from the first one. They're like, you know what, let's have them talk. Not too much, and I think they did I'll admit, better than I expected, but that they understood, like, you know what, let's actually try to plan when they talk and not just have them spam lines. And it would just, because if you do that, then you run the risk of it just coming off cringe. So they didn't overdo it with the dialogue. They had Pooh speak a couple of times in the movie. Same with Tigger. I think Owl's the one who talked a bit more of the group, but it was fine. It wasn't too fucking much where it came off corny. So I'll give this movie credit. Like, they really, for at least doing this kind of fucking concept about a killer version of Pooh, they put some work into it. And that's why I'm going to say it is better than Godzilla X Kong. It is. At least they put some work into it, and I was entertained. The fact that this entertained me than a couple of movies I've seen this year, fucking Ghostbusters, it's kind of sad. A movie about a fucking horror version of Winnie the fucking Pooh entertained me more than a fucking Godzilla movie and a Ghostbusters movie. Is fucking sad. That is fucking sad, dude. Anyway. So, yeah, it's crazy that, so Christopher ends up going there. He ends up killing Pooh finally. Well, he realizes it's his brother, so that's the revelation we get, but he ends up having to kill him. I think, he ends up killing, seemingly killing Pooh, but obviously they're gonna have him come back, because even the way it ends. And Christopher's reunited with this girl. Basically, he gets his name cleared. Like, he's not seen as the murderer anymore. That some people believe him now. So, and I guess they're gonna set up a third one. So, because Pooh's not dead, they'll have him somehow come back. It's probably gonna be like a usual slasher version way to bring the character back. But other than that, it was a fun little film. I would definitely watch it again. Like, for what it was, and the fact they took a concept like this and still made it somewhat entertaining is crazy to me. Objectively not great, or even good. I think I wouldn't call this a good horror movie. Like, it's definitely not that, but it's entertaining, and at least the fact, like, that's the one thing. If you can entertain me and get me going, and into your movie, that alone like gives you points for me. So that's kind of what I would say about this movie. So I have 2 ratings. It's objectively like a 6. It's probably more like a 5, but I'm being nice and I think a 6 is fair. But I'll subjectively give it a 7. I was entertained, had some fun kills. It was a fun little hour and a half. It didn't drag. I can kind of respect that they heeded some people's criticisms. Making Christopher Robin the lead. And getting better actors a little bit, not great actors, but it wasn't like the last one where I was still entertained, but it was bad. The acting was pretty bad. Like I couldn't ignore how bad the acting was. Some of the line delivery, I didn't feel like I didn't have that in this movie. I wasn't like, why are people talking weird? At least this time around, they put a little bit of work in some of the, like, even like the scenes. There's scenes where the owl, you see him fly, and I'm not saying it looks great, but it looks decent. It's passable, and I can give them, for a movie like this, I can give it a little bit of points for that. The kills that were creative, the rave. I like the kill in the beginning. Like I said, for what they were trying to do, I thought they did a good job with it. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'll watch a Pooh 3. Fuck it, at this point. I'd watch, I'm definitely going to check out the Bambi. It looks fun. Like, if you just got Bambi kind of killing people and you can just be entertaining with it, why not? I'm not expecting cinema with these movies. I know what to expect with these movies. I kind of come in with low expectations. I think that's why I didn't really hate the first one, because I came in with low expectations. It's a fucking movie about a killer version of Pooh. I'm not expecting fucking goddamn cinema. If you could just be like a passable slasher movie, you can kind of get past. And I think this one doesn't. They at least seem like they tried a little bit. I'll admit they at least try to make the creatures look like creatures this time around and not just dudes in costumes. They were clearly kind of still dudes in costumes, but they at least they gave them dialogue. They weren't just like, because the problem with the first one was Pooh and Piglet, they were clearly dudes in rubber masks. They at least put a little bit of work to the costume this time around, so I can give the movie that. So I enjoyed it for what it was. That's all I can really say. So that's all I got. I'll figure out what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, since I'm not reviewing Monkey Man now. So maybe I'll make up and try to find another bad movie to review, just to be fair. Find another one. And since I didn't do a bad movie Wednesday, maybe just for this week, a bad movie Friday. Figure do something, since I didn't do a review. I'll figure something out. It'll be like a fun bad movie, like something like in the vein of like a Jack Frost or Thanksgiving. Or I'll find something like that, like a dumb fucking, maybe like a dumb fun slasher, something like that. That's cheesy. I'll look for it, and yeah. But other than that, I'm gonna end it here. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a video out definitely tomorrow, just because I don't know if I'm going to be doing a video Wednesday on Saturday or Sunday, just because it's going to be WrestleMania, and I'm going to be watching both nights, and I don't know how long the event, I know how long the pay-per-view is, but I don't know how long I'll be talking about it. I don't know if I'm going to have time to be doing videos and all that, so I got to figure out. I might try to at least do one Sunday. If I don't do one Saturday, I might try to do one Saturday. If anything. If anything, I'll maybe try to do one Saturday. Again, it's just Screen Rant lately has been fucking shit. I'll be honest, guys. I've been looking. They haven't really had anything I want to talk about, but I'll see if I can find something now. I'll look again, see if something comes up, and maybe I'll try to do a Screen Rant is Gay, like, in the afternoon on Saturday or something. But other than that, guys, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. For sure, I'll figure out what I'll be reviewing. It'll be a review. It'll be a bad movie. Since I didn't do a bad movie Wednesday yesterday, I figure why not we'll just do a bad movie fucking Friday. The first one. So probably the only one. I'm gonna try to stick it to normally on Wednesdays, but I figure why not? Since I have an open slot now. So why not? So anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.